Okay, it's 7 o'clock. We will call the regular village board meeting to order. If everyone would rise and say the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, would please call the roll.
Maravka, Jones.
Here.
March.
Here.
Parker.
Here.
Ham.
Here.
Peotone.
Here.
Approval or corrections to the minutes of the June 25th, 2018 regular village board meeting. The minutes are in your packets. Are there any additions or corrections to any of those minutes? If not, a motion to accept as presented.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Motion by trustee Jones, seconded by trustee March.
Jones.
Yes.
March.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Ham.
It's present.
And
Yes.
Okay, item 3, accounts payable and payroll. Payroll pay period ending 6/30/18 in the amount of $38,657.53. Accounts payable, general fund, $21,398.60. Water and sewer fund, $11,944.13, giving a total of all funds $33,342.73. Are there any questions on any of the bills? If not, a motion to pay the bills and the payroll.
Motion.
Second. Motion by trustee Bowden, seconded by trustee Jones.
Jones.
Yes.
Bowden.
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
And March.
Yes.
Okay, public comment and or questions on any non-agenda item. Okay, we will move on to reports of committees. Police chief's report. Okay. Engineer's report.
I have a few updates on the Route 15 Corning intersection project. We had some movement. Comcast has finally been out there and they started their relocations. They say that they will be done by the end of next week, so we hope that's true. And then I've already notified AT&T and WOW need to take their cables off the old poles and then take down the old poles. And that's when our contractor will be able to start.
So that's the last of the utilities.
That's the last step.
Okay.
On Ratchy Road, Nicor is out there doing relocations now, and Combat is supposed to start in a few weeks, and then the contractor is going to, once he can start doing things based on what they've relocated, start in a few weeks as well.
So where are we on our timeline for Ratchy Road?
The timeline, it's right now just hoping to get it complete before winter. We don't have a solid timeline yet because we still don't know for sure these utilities will be done and when they can start, but
That's Ratchy Road.
yes.
Because originally I thought we were talking school.
That was the
Yeah, but now we've gotten pushed
That's
back.
not the case that we're at. Yeah.
And then the same with the stoplight.
Same with the stoplight, hoping to be done before winter. There's a chance the signals, it just depends,
So the utilities have kind of pushed us back on both of those.
Yes.
What's the next phase after the utilities are complete?
The contractor, probably for both jobs, will start excavation and sewer work, storm sewer work. The Ratchy Road, the culvert work. You also need to do a water main adjustment, so. It'll be the underground stuff, the excavation, and then the curb and paving, and everything later on.
We hope to have it done before winter. If weather holds them up and whatever, can they work straight through once they've started, or could it come to a halt and then have to continue in the spring?
Well, paving would have to come to a halt. The hope that they would have it paved before November, December. I mean, that should be a problem. Might just be finishing up the projects, totally complete. So the goal is to definitely get it all paved before the weather gets too cold. And striping as well.
Did the sidewalks and the street, did that go, the bids awarded and then?
The bids were awarded, yeah, we were waiting just for the contracts. The contractors need to send it back to us, and then the insurance has to get approved. So that's the stage we're in. And we have a pre-construction meeting tomorrow morning for the street job. Then next week's the sidewalk job, and hopefully by then the contracts will be ready and they can start in a few weeks. I have one more note. Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning, CMAP, put out a call for communities to put in an application to do a pavement management program where they're going to do it for villages, to send in applications where they evaluate all the local streets in town and give it a rating as far as when it needs put an application a few months ago. 69 municipalities submitted applications. Only 12 were selected, and Peotone was one of them. So that's really good news. It's totally free for the village, and they're going to rate all the streets in the village, and then we could use that for mapping and to determine future street projects and keep it updated. So that's good news.
Good. Great. Anything else, Troy?
That's all.
Any other committee reports? No old business, we'll move on to new business. Item A, ordinance, an ordinance approving a request for a fence variation 521 The Hague. Planning and zoning met on this issue and has came back with a positive recommendation, 4-2. In your packets, I think you have the information, the original application, and the findings of fact from planning and zoning. And you've got the platter survey also in your packets. Any discussion? I think we have if you want to step up, you can. You give your name, please.
My name is Randall Lenz, III.
So if the board has any questions or...
You're asking for 4 feet. What's there's quite a bit of room there.
I'm not sure exactly what I'm asking for. I'm asking for a fence, basically.
Okay.
I've been told quite a few different things from quite a few different people on what the setback off the sidewalk needed to be. I originally asked for 6 feet off the sidewalk. At the last meeting that we were at, we came to an agreement of 10 feet, which I am perfectly fine with off the sidewalk. I was told by one person it had to be 10 feet. I was told from one person it had to be 30 feet. So we discussed amongst all those other fellows that were here that night with my wife and my unborn son at the time. And we came to an agreement with 10 feet, and I'm perfectly fine with that. One gentleman was on board, and we talked amongst the other front, and a couple other guys were, they didn't know, but I don't live on a traditional corner. I live on a curve, a very long curve.
I drove out there today and kind of saw your lot.
Yeah. You know, and one guy was concerned about it being an impairment on vision. Well, I really can't see it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be just a fence. It's 4 foot. I was a former landscaper. I plan on doing it up nicely. It's going to take me some time, but I have a newborn son, I have a 10-year-old daughter, and I have a dog. You know, so that's why I'm looking to put up the fence. You know, I didn't buy the lot with the anticipation of doing it. We bought the lot because we like the house. We like the town. We like the side of the town it was on. You know, and that's why we're here.
So if they go 10 feet off, do they still need a variance?
Yes, yes.
They still do?
Yeah.
Okay. I was confused by reading that.
Yeah, I've been confused by reading the same rules.
The 10 foot is the variance.
Oh, it's because it's on the corner lot.
Right. Correct.
Because it's not supposed to extend beyond the house. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. So my findings of fact, this is blank, this is yours?
I think it's further
deeper
back
in the packet.
In the packet.
So if they go past the house, they need a variance. Okay. That's the issue.
You need a copy, I can get you a copy.
I have one, I just wondered why it was in there blank. I see the fences, the rest of the fence is not on the property line, is there a specific reason?
What's that?
The rest of the fence is not on the property line, is that accurate?
No, it should all else be on the property line,
Okay.
except for the side on the sidewalk.
So like the corner,
The corner is, it's actually, there's a Comcast box, an AT&T box, and a ComEd box. I'm literally gonna cut across from one corner to the other.
Right.
Box it out, probably take the grass out, put some mulch and whatnot back there, so then I don't have to maintain it.
but the line on the map is not, it's kind of parallel to the property line?
I actually don't know, can I come over?
Yeah, absolutely. See,
I'm guessing, this is my wife probably drew it.
Okay.
So yes, it's literally gonna follow the property line to there, and then over, all the way down, and then come 10 feet off the sidewalk.
Okay.
And then back to the house. This is the back corner of the house.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't draw it. I'm guessing she did. She
No,
was
okay,
taking
well,
care of part of it.
answers my question.
And this picture is representative of the fence?
Yeah, it's 4 foot, 6 inch wide with 1 inch gap in between them. I have a color photo if you'd like. It's just your standard vinyl fence. And the only reason I went with vinyl is because her and I agreed, liked the look of it. And then it's no maintenance basically. I don't ever really have to ever replace the thing, providing none of the pickets or the boards get broken, which can possibly happen,
Nicer
but.
looking.
Any other questions or discussion? There's no further discussion. I would entertain a motion to adopt ordinance number 18-04, an ordinance approving request for a fence variation, 521 The Hague, and also the findings from the planning and zoning, which I'll read. Item A, that a particular surrounding shape or topographical conditions of the specific property involved will bring particular hardship upon the owner is distinguished from a mere inconvenience if the strict letter of the regulations were to be carried out. The answer is no. It's a little different than the ordinance reads, but no hardship. Item B, that the conditions upon which the petition for variation is based would not be applicable generally to other property within the same zone classification. The answer is a unique situation because of the lot. And then the next four were all no. That the purpose of the variation is not based exclusively upon a desire to make more money out of the property, that the alleged difficulty or hardship has not been created by any person presently having any interest in the property, that the granting of the variation will not be determined detrimental to the public welfare or unduly injurious to the other property or improvements in the neighborhood in which the property is located, and that the proposed variation will not impair an adequate supply of light and air to adjacent property or substantially increase the danger of fire or otherwise endanger the public safety or substantially diminish or impair property values with the neighborhood. Those were all answered no. So a motion to adopt ordinance number 18-04 and accept the Planning and Zoning Commission's findings of that.
I'll motion that.
Second?
Second.
Motion by trustee Bowden, seconded by trustee March.
Bowden?
Yes.
March?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Ham?
No.
And President Cross?
Yes. Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where, just a quick question, where might I pick up my permit then? Or
Check
when would that
back,
be available?
check back in the village hall. Check with Stacy in the morning, and she'll be able to tell you exactly when. You
Okay.
Just give her a call.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
I don't mean to be rude, but
I
we're
believe
gonna,
you've already filled, everything's been
yes,
filled out, correct?
yes, we're gonna part ways though.
No problem.
Since this.
Congratulations
Thank you,
on the baby. And
thank you for all of it.
all right.
Have a good evening.
You too. Item B, resolution. A resolution approving a First Amendment to an asset purchase agreement with Aqua Illinois Incorporated. The last meeting, we talked about the closing with Aqua. Our original goal was to close at the end of June, so we were closing at the end of a billing quarter. Everything got kind of pushed with the ICC, so we got into the next quarter. Myself and Marcy Hammond and Stacy met with Jim Bellata and Dominique from Aqua last week, and we had a long discussion, and just trying to close in the middle of the quarter is really going to cause chaos. And just for a number of reasons, but we would have to do a special billing, and it would just really, I think it would confuse a lot of people and confuse the whole issue. So we've decided to push the closing back to the end of September, or into October, so we can get through the next quarter of billing. We will read, at the very end of that quarter, we'll do our normal quarterly billing, and then the next bill, we would start with the monthly billing then from Aqua. So to do that, in the original contract, it had stated that we would close within 30 days after the ICC's approval, so we just need to amend that asset purchase agreement with the extension for the closing. And that's what this resolution is, resolution number 18R-01. A resolution approving the First Amendment to an asset purchase agreement with Aqua Illinois Incorporated.
So why is it October 28th? Just so you have more time?
Just so you have more time to get through it.
Instead of
Correct.
September 30th?
Correct, because we're going to do our final read on September the 30th. So, but they'll do the next billing. They will do the next read, the next billing. So it just gives more. And Jim, I think Jim's here too. Jim, if you want to step up. Sure.
Trustee, what we decided is the easiest way is for you guys to do your meter reading on your normally quarterly reads, which will be the very, very end of September. And right now we have kind of a hard date in our mind is set for October 1st to close, which is nice at the beginning of the week. You guys get all your meter readings done at the end of the week, or even a Saturday or Sunday. And we even told the mayor that if there's additional cost to have somebody read it that weekend, because we don't want you to lose any revenue there.
Right.
That we will pay for the additional cost to read them, added to our transactional costs. So right now, the goal is October 1st.
Okay.
I don't see any reason that we can't do it, because that's really gonna fall right in line with, Marcy and Stacy said that'll work out really well for them. They'll read it. It'll just be the smoothest, cleanest transaction. And then they won't get a bill from us for like another 30 days after that. So then it'll start going on its 30-day cycle.
So the October date is just to give breathing room in case something else
Correct.
happens.
Correct. Correct.
Still going to close at the end of the
We're
quarter.
still looking at closing at the end of the quarter, closing on October the 1st, but just instead of saying October 1st and something happening, we're just giving ourselves a little bit of wiggle room.
We looked at that Friday, the 29th?
Yeah.
December 3rd, 28th, whatever it is. Typically, in the experience we've had, we really don't want to close on a Friday because if something happens during the weekend, I mean, a lot of people maybe have the, you're going through call centers. Here, we got Monday, everybody's fully staffed, everybody's during the week, it just makes that transition so much smoother, so. So what we do is we take your reads, your final reads become our start reads. That's why it's important to have that clean cut on there.
Any other questions or discussion? If not, a motion to adopt resolution number 18R-01, a resolution approving a First Amendment to an asset purchase agreement with Aqua Illinois Incorporated.
All motion.
Second?
Second.
Motion by trustee Ham, seconded by trustee March.
Ham?
Yes.
March?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
And Bowden?
Yes.
Item C, formally accept the resignation and retirement letter of Greg Spathis. That letter was read at the last meeting, and we just need a motion to formally accept the resignation and retirement letter of Greg Spathis, village administrator.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion by trustee March, second by trustee Bowden.
March?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Parker?
Yep.
Jones?
Yes.
Item D, discuss and approve a possible contribution to the Peotone Chamber of Commerce for advertising of the Business Expo on Saturday, October 13th, 2018. Now, Trustee Jones has been attending the Chamber of Commerce meetings, and I think everybody has a copy of the letter in their packet.
They've done this before, several years ago, it was quite successful. Gives a lot of exposure to local businesses. They have a raffle and generated a lot of enthusiasm throughout the business district and the people that attended. We're looking for about $3,500 from our business development fund towards funding this. I think it's a good thing. We come out of our business development.
I think 3,500. Personally, I think 3,500 is considerably high.
If it comes in less, then of course I wouldn't keep it.
Because I was talking, Marcy and I had a conversation, looking at the budget and so forth. I mean, it's there, but I don't know. It's, to me, I look at what we spend on advertising for Christmas in the village and other activities, and it's considerably less than that. I mean, to me, that just seems an awful lot.
Did Marcy have a recommendation of what we could?
We were talking about $500.
Have they asked for this before?
The village and the chamber used to do this together years ago.
George Gray originally implemented it. He was a village manager at the time, and it was successful. And I think 3,500 was the number at that time, I believe.
Does the chamber have a budget for any type of advertising activities for any events?
Like most organizations, no, they don't have a lot of money. It's,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 35 stiff. What do we have? So that would deplete that whole budget?
Well, I don't know if it would deplete it, but it would take a,
Yeah.
a chunk out of it.
So, trying to figure out how to say this. Chamber gonna be mad at us if we give them $1,000?
Probably. I would be.
Can we table this until the chamber comes and speaks to us directly?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tammy Hoffman's kind of the one that's, she's the treasurer.
It'd be interesting to know what 3,500 is gonna be spent on. I mean, that's a big number.
Yeah, this is the first I'd heard the $3,500 number, so that kind of caught me off guard.
Well, I'll talk to her in the next meeting.
That's fine. We'll put it on the next agenda.
I think what they're doing is great.
No, I agree.
Nobody's questioning that. It's just kind of, we got one piece of paper that says,
Right.
give us $3,500. I think I need more information on that.
I agree. All right, so a motion to table the request from the Peotone Chamber of Commerce till the next meeting.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Motion by trustee Jones, seconded by trustee Bowden.
Jones?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
And March?
Yes.
Item E, approve one-day liquor license for Fire Pit Bar and Grill, 7/28/18. This is in conjunction with the Peotone Car Club, the car show downtown. Fire Pit has done this at least last year, I thought maybe the last couple years, where she is doing some food downtown, and along with that food has asked for a one-day liquor license so she can sell canned beer and mixed drinks in plastic cups. Typically for that car show, we've already approved street closure, and we allow the open carry of cans in plastic in a certain area there for a certain amount of hours, and this would tie into those same parameters and the same hours as the car show.
Chief's feelings?
Chief said it was absolutely fine, no problems in the past.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Motion by trustee Ham, seconded by trustee Jones to approve the one-day liquor license application, Class C2 license for Lisa Fredericks from Fire Pit Bar and Grill, July 28th, 2018, downtown for the Peotone Car Show.
Ham?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
March?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
And Bowden?
Yes.
Questions of the press? We have press here. Questions? None? Okay. Any announcements? Bob, did you? Oh, so we talked this morning. Please don't blow your grass into the street when you're mowing your grass. Just kind of like leaves in the fall. Please don't blow your grass in the street. It tends to clog up the street sweeper.
It's also dangerous for motorcycles too.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Plugs up the catch basins.
And the catch basin, yeah. Both sides, streets and water and sewer. Anything else from the board? Okay. If not, then I would like a motion to go into closed session to consider the employment of a specific employee.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion by trustee March, seconded by trustee Parker. How to get you a name?
I have ordered hers twice. March?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
And Jones?
Yes.
And there will be no action coming out of closed session.